came to me and said, I want you to look at a project that I have. I'd like you to help me. And he said, it's about O.J. Simpson. Thought it was interesting. And he said, well, this guy Charlie was with O.J. at the murders. Okay. Then I see that O.J. wrote a book called If I Did It in chapter 6. He says he had an accomplice named Charlie. And he did an interview with Judith Regan on Fox that they shelved for 12 years and said he had an accomplice named Charlie. Then I finally get to meet Charlie. He doesn't want to say too much about the murders. So let me say that because people always ask me this. He made a tape and he wrote a screenplay. Those producers have that. I have segments and pieces of that. Okay. And not many people have ever heard that tape. And it's a shame. And I've asked them to come forward. I've tried many times and they won't come forward. So I decided to whistleblow on them.
Well, I mean, they wanted a movie made anyway.
Right, but they told it in a way that you didn't think he murdered somebody. They just told it like, oh, he rode with OJ in the Bronco. Oh, he witnessed it and he didn't talk because he thought OJ would kill him or Joey Ippolito would have him murdered.
Okay, so lay it on me.
Sure, the story of how the murders take place.
Yeah,
sure.
Like well, and the involvement of the involvement of the mob, Charlie, go back. Like I mean, we can build up to the night, but how do these guys? How does he know OJ? How does he?
Yep.
How does that tie in with the mob?
So from my investigation, from my journey, this is my postulation theory. Okay, I opine because what they told me in the beginning, I found out was not really the story. So I had to piece it together for myself. Like, was he in jail in 95? It's fascinating how he does it. The mob guys are geniuses with keeping you guessing, keeping up the smoke screen. They invented this. What you did is fascinating. How they did it, they invented what you do. Okay?
Okay.
So Charlie meets OJ. He's only known him for 3 months. They're running drugs. They're doing probably girls. There's point shaving supposedly with NFL games that OJ's lining up. There's a big gambling racket that somehow Rob Kardashian gets involved in with Ippolito, Al Cowlings gets tied up and they think it's Al Cowlings and Ippolito. I'm not sure if Kardashian was fully tied to that, but I think there's definitely some mob ties with Robert Kardashian Sr. I'll say that. And Russian mafia. And so Ehrlich meets OJ in the screenplay, and on the tape, they talk about how they met. Because they don't want to say too much. They're trying to keep you to write a book called If I Did It. That's 12 years later because it's 2006. So he waits 12 years to do that story and interview. A friend of mine comes to me and goes, I know this guy. I think you should meet him. You guys are kind of similar, ambitious, movie, TV, bright guys. It was kind of like a meeting story.
Yeah. I read the book in prison.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They made the movie. John Travolta plays Don Arrow. They changed his name. And Kellen Lutz plays Ben Kramer. They call him Robbie Reamer. They changed his name. So that's it all. You're talking about that one that just came out? Or are you talking about Norm? A couple hundred go out? Like, it's not like a ton of books are sold. And Alfred Aventura and a young Charlie Ehrlich.
And
that's Joey Ippolito.
Reporter links Simpson's friends.
Right.
Cowling to what?
To Joey Ippolito.
To escaped mobster. Okay.
Yep. So that's the published article. In 94. Yep.
Okay.
It's like a hint, like a clue.
Yeah, you've got tons of pictures. Like there's tons of
Joey. That's Joey in Miami.
Yeah, this is the speedboat, right? They're racing.
They used to race in the day and smuggle at night.
Yeah. Speed kills.
That's the Don Arrow story.
Yeah. I read the book in prison.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They made the movie. John Travolta plays Don Arrow. They changed his name. And Kellen Lutz plays Ben Kramer. They call him Robbie Reamer. They changed his name. He's so that's, it all ties, man. It's all, a guy taught me this too, with the mob stuff and even some of the kind of Hollywood drugs and sexploitation. It all connects. They all connect together. They all have like 1 degree separation. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's fascinating. Yeah. It's a
production company.
I know the guys. I already went to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be hard. I know. I already went to them. There's 2 guys. They're from Canada. I won't say their production company name. They were cool. We did a couple calls. They had already made the OJ thing. I said, hey, if you really want to go for the Grand Slam, I'll give you all the Ehrlich stuff. And why don't you show there's an accomplice? Tom Lang wouldn't let him do it because Tom
used that guy. But, and the other guy who does this is like Chad Marks.
Okay. And I needed help. But my point is, my real trip now is the censorship our media. I'm obsessed with why the media blocks me. If I was to talk about OJ, that's like over lunch, secondhand. Don't even care. I want to know why you at ABC are blocking me from telling the story. You let other people tell fake stories. Jason Simpson did it. Discovery ID did a thing with Bill Deere, paid him $300,000 for a fake story. The Sun did it. And here's the evidence. Here's the knife. He pulls out this fake knife. Like, it's just, why are you doing fake stories? Why don't you tell the real story?
All right. Well, listen, let me get you, let me set you up with some other true crime guys that,
I appreciate it. I do. I really appreciate it. Maybe you can help.
And I'll contact that guy that did he did like a little mini doc on one of the stories that I have.
I'll check that out. I want to see that.
That Jeff Bezos chose not to have on his platform.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the real guy, like, I put the book up, man, it started selling. Like, I was like, wow, this is great. Like, I put it up the same time I did a podcast on it. So it was doing great for about 6 weeks. And he sent a cease and desist order.
Why?
Or whatever it was to Amazon. Well, because I had written the story.
Oh, the guy you wrote about.
I wrote a story with him in prison.
Okay.
About his story. When I was done, he didn't like the story. But the story is 100% accurate. And I mean, and listen, I did a great, no offense, I did a great job. It's a great book. It's one of the better books I've ever written. I mean, I really did a great job. So, and it was selling great. And he managed to get Amazon to take it down.
Wow.
Which is really almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And I went and hired an attorney. The attorney could, he went back and forth with their attorneys a little bit. And when they asked for us to provide all of the documentation, and we did, they just stopped responding. Really? So he was like, at this point, we're going to have to file a lawsuit. And I was like, fuck, like, I don't want to have to file a lawsuit. I got like 6 other books up there. So I put it on another platform. It's on Barnes and Nobles now.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on like Goodread and a bunch of other ones.
So Amazon down because this guy complained, almost like a copyright strike with YouTube.
Correct. But the guy's a complete, first of all, the problem is the book says he's a pathological liar. And it's not just me, like the federal government had him speak with
one of the forensic guys. Yes.
It's the first time I've really seen the brutality of that murder. Like, they show the real.
Let a TurboTax